It's crazy to plan something for so long and then see it in person. It's just, it feels so surreal. Like we're inside the render we created right now. I had to pause this vlog for a second and tell you guys that before we get into this vlog, I need to explain some things to you. For some reason, I just started vlogging and forgot to give you guys context clues about what even is happening and where we are. So basically, welcome to this little series where we design and transform our client's dream retail space in Los Angeles. I do live in Miami. I'm in Miami right now. And most of our projects are out of state, even out of the country. So we travel a lot for work. We completed this project within 3 months, which is, if you know about design, that's really, really crazy considering all the work we had to do before we got there and then during being there. And so I kind of just want to go through the design process that we had to go through and explain to you everything that we did in order to get to where this vlog starts. So without further ado, I'm gonna pull up my screen on my computer and we're gonna go through this together. Welcome to my little screen. At my design firm, we have profiles for every single client and we keep everything super organized for ourselves and for our client. This right here is our portal. Welcome. We don't gatekeep anything here because you don't get anywhere in life with gatekeeping. I really just want to show you how we unraveled this entire process because there's so much that goes into design and I never speak about what happens before we finish the design. You guys normally only see us doing DIYs, getting the paint job done and like all the fun stuff in person, but I never talk to you guys about all the hard work that goes into the design process before we arrive to the project, which it's a lot. Like this project took 3 months, but out of those 3 months, it was only 2 days in person and the rest was online. And that was like all the organizing and decorating and designing. This is where the project started to unravel. So we have the videos of the space. This was like an empty retail space in LA. They're located in Koreatown. And I mean, it was used before. I think it may have been like a restaurant or something. So there was like a kitchen. The finishes were just really bad. The paint job was pretty bad. It just needed a lot of love, which is fine. We can work with this. Like, it's really nice. It has tall ceilings, which is amazing. It has really good lighting, which is what we look at. It has really good bones. It also had an arch there, which I'm now just realizing, which is so cute. The store was probably really cute before we teared all these walls down. It had these laminate tile floorings. I can't even tell through the video. We never saw it in person with the before. But those floors are rough. I'm not gonna lie, don't like them that much. The arches were cute. The lighting was really, really cute. I really like the chandeliers, but we got rid of them because it didn't match the theme that we were going for. Really crazy considering the after is just the opposite of what that looked like. Every process will normally start with what our clients want, and they'll kind of tell us, obviously, because it's their space, they'll tell us what they want, what they're envisioning, where they want certain things. For example, they for sure wanted the cash wrap counter here. Cash wrap, that's so funny. They're the first people I've ever heard say cash wrap. But the register in this corner and then the built-ins in that corner as well. So that's exactly what we did. And then over here, we're doing the princess built-in. So then they wanted the built-in all the way or split in two. So that was kind of like a whatever, but for sure they wanted the built-in here. And they had windows. We had to decide if we wanted to cover the windows or not. But obviously if we didn't cover the windows, then we wouldn't be using the space correctly because they're kind of like a knick-knack store and they have so much inventory. I keep saying knick-knack, but they're like a gift shop. It's a one-stop shop where you can literally find anything for anyone and everything is so aesthetic and cute and they're like really random things, but I would probably walk out of there with 19 things. Keeping that in mind, we needed to utilize the space very functionally. We just really needed to utilize all the space we had because there was so much inventory. So obviously we had to cover the windows. Then over here, we have the little layout. This was like their idea. They want to block off the back room. This is where the bathroom is. So we blocked that off and then put the fitting rooms here. We took this out. So then this entire space was just an open concept after. And this was the layout they sent us of what was going to go where. This actually ended up moving, so it's not that important. But they were telling us like the Hello Kitty stuff, stationery. This was just their ideas. And then we took that in mind and created our own stuff. Then we got to the fun parts. Lainey and I, Lainey is my business partner who I own Euphoria Collective with. And Lainey is the queen of just renders and all things build outs and just construction work. And so we created the build outs, obviously. This is where like the Mickey Mouse sort of looking thing was supposed to be before. We were thinking of doing it squiggle, but because making it round was just taking up a lot of space, we ended up making it bigger, which is why we ended up in the other design, but this was the original design. You're gonna see some stuff change throughout the design, so this is kind of just like how we evolved. Next, we have the register. We were always gonna have it here. This built in for purses, which our clients always wanted. This was what we were talking about. And then we have the arches, which are there right now, and we have this little tier table thingy that was supposed to go here. We ended up putting it somewhere else. And then we have the squiggle shelves. Next, we have the little princess built in. Originally, we were gonna have these like columns that were more structured that we found like on Facebook Market. Obviously, within these projects, we have a budget, and the budget was, it was a good budget, but we definitely had to be really mindful about what we were spending our money on, because it wasn't like a crazy unlimited budget. So we were looking at alternatives on Facebook Market, and we ended up just scrapping that and just doing a custom built-in, because it just ended up being cheaper to do everything custom with our contractor. That kind of stayed the same, just the shape changed. Then we have like another point of view, different point of views over here. Next, we have all our inspo and ideas. This is ongoing, and yes, it looks so unorganized, but it is organized for us. Obviously, like at the end of the day, we put all of this into a lookbook and make it look all pretty with a little bow and send it over to our clients. But this is kind of like how we organize our ideas, which is crazy. It's our beautiful organized chaos. All right, and then over here, you can just see all the logistics, which I unfortunately do not really participate in. This is why, kids, they tell you to go to school, because if I wanted to, I could do this. I just really have to learn it, and I never really studied how to do this, and it's just a lot of numbers, you know. I'm a high school dropout. No, I'm kidding, I'm not a high school dropout. But I didn't go to college, and I'm not great with numbers either. So that's why my beautiful Lainey Boo comes in. She literally does freaking algebra and puts all of this together. All the information that our contractor will need in order to build everything. This was our original plan for the floors. This was the floor plan, and we normally with every design start with the floors, because can't really do anything else unless the floors are done. So we originally wanted to break up a bunch of parts and do this, which it would have been so fun. We didn't end up doing it mainly because of budget, but also the clients like didn't really love it, which is totally fine. I understand why. We ended up just scrapping it, and we only kept the centerpiece, and it looks really nice because it has its own main character moment, which is really important in a design. We have the centerpiece as the floor, the table centerpiece, and then the chandelier. All of these patterns we actually created ourselves. So this floor that we used in the center, everything was OG. And the reason why we wanted to break up the floors is because the original idea was to do all of this. You know, like we wanted to have like the gift section and kind of like divide it with the floor, which I haven't seen a lot of people do. So that would have been cool. We didn't do it, but that's okay. So now we land on our render. This was our original plan. After seeing what it looks like now, I'm like, this is a lot. And it's not a lot in a good way, because I love a lot. And so that's why this wasn't the final one. It's kind of interesting to see where our head was in the beginning and then where it ended. Really, really wanted to do the ceiling, which I still would have loved to do. I think it still would have looked great with our final design. It wasn't budget friendly. It was so expensive to do, so we didn't end up doing that. This too, even though I don't really like how this is looking here, so I'm glad we didn't do that. We ended up doing this wallpaper. We changed the shape of this. The register, it's the same design, just different finish. We didn't do these. Instead, we did like custom build outs, and then we didn't do that wallpaper. Thank God, because it's looking like really crazy in there. I'm not gonna lie. This is like the other overview. Oh, and we wanted to put the horse on top of here, which I think it still would have looked super cool with our final design. I wish we would have done it, but our clients didn't really want it there. So then we started switching stuff out. We switched the color of the top. We did orange in the built-ins. We landed on this wallpaper. We ended up deciding that the materials of the counter Originally, we were gonna wrap it in tile. It was too costly and just not worth it. So we ended up doing the 3D flowers, which you can see here. We found this picture and we're like, wow, that's so cool. These are sick. And so we ended up finding a way to do it with joint compound, and we did a little DIY, and that's what happened to the counter. The counter would have looked really nice with tile as well, but maximalist in me loves the 3D flowers, and this was the tile we were gonna use. We're gonna do striped pink and white tiles. Yeah, with all those changes, we landed on this, which is what you guys are going to see. The first view, and this is the other view. And this was the plan. The only thing that switched here was a different color for the curtains for the fitting rooms, and we did different colors in these cubbies, which I honestly would have maybe preferred to keep it all one color, but our clients really wanted it to be different colors, so that's what we ended up doing. But wow, I'm really spoiling everything. We ended up switching this wallpaper into here, as you can see here, and I think that was a great decision. I think it looked really nice and clean and organized, and it wasn't too overwhelming. And we actually took this off, and it's just a standalone table. That is what we went through. Those were 3 months of our lives. 3 months is a little crazy. 3 months is really rushed. Everything was pretty rushed. I feel like good things take time. And even though this ended up really well and we slayed the house down with what we had, 3 months is a little too crazy for a design project. I just want to tell you guys that and make that clear. I don't want to set the wrong expectations, especially if you're going into like interior design. If you're an aspiring interior designer, if you are an interior designer, I'm not trying to set fake expectations. This takes time, and 3 months is so rushed and just not, it shouldn't be normal in the design world. But we just really love this project, and so we took it on and we did what we could with 3 months. We definitely could have done more and maybe made it cooler or whatever, but we're not gonna focus on what we couldn't do and focus on what we did do, and we slayed the house down. But let me know if you guys have any questions. Let me know if you want to see more of these. I have so many projects like this that I can show you guys and kind of do like more of like an online type thing and show you what we do at the design firm. But I hope this was helpful for you guys to understand, and now pretend like I'm getting on a plane right now and going to LA to finish the project. First time seeing it. What do you think, lady?
I love it.
Welcome to Carousels. We've been designing this space in LA for quite some time now. Well, it's been like 3 months since we started, and we did the build out, we did the renders, we did everything custom made, so everything inside this space was custom made by us. This is the first time we see it in person. Other than videos and pictures that they've been sending us, we have not seen anything. And this is just so exciting. It's crazy to plan something for so long and then see it in person. It's just, it feels so surreal. Like we're inside the render we created right now. There's still a lot left. We have a lot to do, but that's why we're here. We're gonna finish all the details. If you guys thought we were joking in all the other vlogs, it's day 1 in LA and we're getting a side pose. Britt's over it.
I kind of want to get sea moss.
Oh, it's really good for you.
Good for you.
Do you want to just eat in the car?
Yeah.
We made it to LA. And we're starting the day with the side bowls. We're picking up some supplies and we're starting all the DIYs at the space. The space is basically already built out, which is amazing. I'm gonna say Euphoria has changed my entire life and existence. Like I think without Euphoria, I would have quit design already. But having Lainey and Britt on the team have just made life so much easier. And now when we travel to the spaces, they're basically already built out and we just finish all the details, which is why you probably haven't seen me like really do anything about this project yet. And we're gonna go in there and you guys are gonna be like, what? Like I had no idea you were doing this, because we haven't been here. Like everything was getting done while we were away. And now we just come in and finish all the details and make it look pretty and amazing. So that's exactly what we're doing.
Like interior designers do.
Exactly. Before I wasn't a real interior designer, now we're certified. We're repainting this part and we're switching it to this color. Lovebirds. Today Today we're working on the cash wrap, so that's gonna be really exciting. We're doing like 3D flowers. It's gonna be quite the project because that's probably gonna take us like 2 days. And so we're buying some joint compounds so we can have the flowers be 3D, as well as some supplies for that. Do you need help? She wants to do it on her own.
Light as a feather.
Oh my god. Sorry, I had one job. We just pulled out little daily affirmation cards. She said choose one. All right, what does yours say?
Everything is alright.
Everything is alright.
Anything is possible.
Yes. That's exactly what we need to hear right now. And mine is smile more, radiate positivity. Guys, I smile so much. That's rude.
I always take a picture of them like together.
We have yellow polka dots in the render here, so that's exactly what we're doing. I'm gonna start painting polka dots on here. We have the yellow paint. Britt laid out some plastic for us. I mean, like, how hard is it to paint yellow dots? So right now, the store just looks extremely pastel. So what we're doing is we're adding in the final touches, which are very not pastel. We're bringing in like more bold colors into the space. I'm using the tape as a stencil and I'm just gonna trace all the dots and kind of try to put it in an order. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's not supposed to be perfect. They need to look like hand painted vibes. So that's what we're gonna do.
On the road with a motorbike, hanging around between the mountains, coast to coast, you know how to drive. Dragonflies are on the sunset, can you believe we're together? We're celebrating September. What do you mean it's forever? Forever is a time to be with you. Playing games.
Okay, first problem of the day. Not really a problem, but I did the stencils of the dots and I started to paint it yellow. One, I realized that it's not the yellow that we're supposed to be using. We're supposed to be using like a mustard yellow, and that's really not mustard yellow. So the color is off. And then I looked back on the renders and that is exactly not what we had planned. I don't know why we thought they were literal polka dots, but they're not. This is exactly what we're trying to do. But the background wasn't pink, it was cream, and the dots were mustard yellow. So Britt's out running errands. She's at the art store to pick up all the stuff that we need for the counter because we're gonna be doing 3D flowers. And she's also gonna go pick up more paint at Home Depot. She jinxed it. She's like, I know we're gonna be back at Home Depot. Like, she literally jinxed that. We're scrapping everything I did right now. Forget what I told you guys. That is not happening anymore. I'm gonna wait for her. We need to paint this cream and then we'll do the polka dots. So for right now, I'm gonna help Lainey finish up the cash wrap. We're painting it all baby pink and then we're doing the flowers on top of it. So she basically painted it all pink and we just need to finish up the edges.